Hey there. Hi, how are you? This is Francesca from Auckland, New Zealand. It is kind of hot today. It's probably 80 degrees, but the humidity factor, and then New Zealand is right underneath the ozone layer, like Australia, so we have a lot of heat. Anyway, welcome for coming. We had a little bit of a late start, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump on into a lot of this. So the first part is where I answer questions from the AMP community, and I've answered some this week, and I've actually had a couple of really cool meetings with some of you, and I also had a really good question from one. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into that. And I feel like I connected with this person because she was expressing a lot what I was expressing when I was probably my first 5 years of business. When you buy stuff, when you buy programs, or maybe you buy a service and you're not getting that quick return on investment, and you just feel frustrated. So a lot of this particular conversation we're going to talk about is about, letting go of that idea of an easy fix. Because I will tell you, if you're running a business, and people I've worked with, any new person I work with, I have to have 90 days to make a change or an effect in their business. Otherwise, it's going to be a little hard in getting that. With that said, I'm going to be straightforward with you in a lot of this. How do you build a business, and what does it take, and what things should you look for, and if you buy sessions with a coach, like what would that look like, and what can you expect? Now, when you're attached to an easy fix, you're going to not get those results easily. You're just not. It really is about consistency on your part. It's also about stopping. Let's see, how do I say this? It's about doing a lot of the work and understanding what work that you need to do, and also understand that you would have to train somebody that is, a new virtual assistant or an assistant, and that is actually an investment in your business. So a couple of things with that. If you have that particular idea of how you want your business to go, or even if you want your business to be sustainable, you're going to have to put in that time to get it. I'm not ever going to write a book about the 4-hour work week, because it's nonsense. It's not going to really change the business. There's still things that you need to do. Now, you can have a 4-hour work week if you have the idea person at that point in your company. The can happen for sure, but I'm very realistic, and I deal with real entrepreneurs and real businesses, and I know what works and what doesn't. So getting off of that point, the second thing is that you really have to do just take that 30 minutes and write down everything that you want to see come to fruition in your business in 2015. Now, you might notice the business thing that we did in December, one of the last weeks in December. We did a systems for smart coaches, and it's called about reimagining your business. So I actually did mine. I do the same work that you guys do throughout this, because I know that I either done it with a client or clients, and we yielded some results, and I share that with you guys. So that's basically the format of AMP. It's things that I've used with clients that have worked. So this is one of the first things that we do, or with a new client, is I just go ahead and say, all right, let's deal with that real powerful question. What do you really want? How do you want it to look like? Forget about how it's going to happen, or can it happen. It's just, if you could draw a picture of how your business and life is going to look like for the whole year, let's go with that and focus on that and write it up. So that's what this is. I do this every year. It's a pretty powerful process. Again, you can get it the last week of December if you're on AMP, and we'll show you when we take a tour on AMP today. But that's the first thing you need to do. Without that, we can't have a strategy. If you don't know what you want, if you don't know how you want your business to look like, then we can't get to the strategy, which we're going to get into all year long, okay? So that's what AMP is about. What I will say to you is, because I've had a couple of cheeky clients this week that have said stuff like, well, I can't do it because I'm not really computer savvy, or I really don't want to do all of that kind of work because I have to work to get to work with clients and I don't have time for this. So that sounds like someone that's going to be in circles and not really get to the next level if you don't take real time to analyze what is working well in your business, what needs to change, and what isn't working at all in your business. If you can't write that down or you don't recognize it and own it, you're not going to go anywhere. So that is what I want to say to you. Definitely, it's all about accountability. I'm completely in control of my business, where it goes by the effort and output I put into it. It all starts with an intention. So if I don't have an intention, my business is not going to go anywhere. So there you go. With that said, it sounds a little fluffy just to put that all on you. This whole year, we're going to actually show implementation on how to do that. So we're actually going to jump on the module and look into what we studied this month in AMP, and then we're going to go ahead and gradually go into what you can expect. Now, this past week, you've seen a video of me showing you exactly what we're going to, or what you can expect for AMP in the next 2 months. It's really exciting. And I'll tell you why, because a lot of my friends, I've actually helped a lot of my friends and family go through this sort of process, which is really cool, where they kind of decide, oh, okay, I think I want to move away from the job that I'm at and I want to go into a different direction. Great. So what I've done with them is that we made an impactful CV or resume, meaning that we really showed the value of you, and really use keywords that will help you identify you on your resume to a prospective client or to a job. It doesn't matter, because I'm getting a lot of corporate clients also that are on AMP, as well as the everyday entrepreneur. And you can still use everything here in your corporate world. So that's one thing we're going to cover. The other thing we're going to cover, which is really cool, as I'm looking at my notes on my wall here, is that we're going to do a media kit. Now, a media kit is usually used in the entertainment industry, and it's also called, I can't think of it, like a sizzle reel is one other way to say it. And it basically showcases that person or brand and what they've done, what kind of publications they've been on, what kind of media they've been on. And I'm here to say to you that you can also do one that's like that, that you can position yourself and showcase your actual valuable self on a video. So if you can check, actually, you can check mine out. If you go to Social Global Grind /about, you'll be able to see mine and my career and how it looks. I've just recently done one that I'll share with you, but it's really super simple. It's just about you talking about maybe the last 3 or 5 impactful jobs that you've had that will really show the essence of where you're going and who you are. Doing something like that, pulling images from that company. Maybe it's a product you work with. Maybe it is with a company that's, you know, on the Fortune 500. Whatever it is, just like a resume, you're going to line it up in sequential order. And then after applying those images, I use iMovie, which is really easy, but there's a lot of, you don't have to have a Mac to do this. There's a lot of different programs that you can do this with. And I invite you to check that out on Google, or excuse me, YouTube. You can actually Google, depending on your operating system, what type of movie app you can use. So I would invite you to do that. And once you put all of those in order, I will show you exactly how to do it. It's just about creating a flow flow sort of conversation on what you've achieved by, again, pulling the values or the valuable input you've had with that company. And it doesn't mean that you have to be at a manager level to do this. I mean, honestly, if you are in the entry level, you could still showcase how you amplify their cause. If you were the key researcher, you know what I mean? Instead of key coffee Starbucks runner, you can also just spin it. It's all, PR is about spinning and actually showing the value of what that achievement is. So think of it that way. Be your own best person, your best PR person, and start thinking of how you can actually put a reel together. And we're actually going to be studying that, let's see, week 4 in February. So I jumped all the way to week 4. So week 1, we're going to be actually showing you how you can, well, let's go to February. So week 1, we're going to show you how to use graphics and MailChimp campaigns to amplify your blog, which is going to be awesome. We're going to be showing you lots of different tricks on how you can do that. Week 2 is the CV and resume upgrade series. So that's exactly how are we going to build an impactful CV or resume. So if you want some guidance in that, just let me know and I can help you with yours, and then we can actually use it and share it with the group if you want to do something like that. Week 3 is the webinar upgrade series. So that one's probably the most exciting one because I've seen some results in my business by doing this particular method, and I can hardly wait to share it with you. And then there we go. Week 4, we're actually going to put together a media kit and showcasing exactly your vision and your accomplishments on a media reel, which is really cool. So again, if you want to volunteer for that, I would be glad to use your expertise as an example to that. So that would be kind of cool. So that's in February. Right now we're still in week 2. So week 1 on AMP, we did the finishing of the virtual assistant team, and we're still doing that. We're doing the virtual assistant training and how that's going to build a team, you know, with a virtual assistant. So this particular series has started in December, and you can actually go all the way back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over the screen, and we're going to go ahead and share the screen and jump on those modules together. We're going to take a tour on AMP. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so here is the AMP website. What you would do is you just go ahead, this is the login page. So one of the first things you're going to see on the login page is take the tour video. This video is going to basically do what I'm going to be doing, and we're going to be showing you each and every single little space and what it's all about. Then we're also going to jump into week 1 and week 2 regarding the AMP sessions. So here's the home page. The course sessions is where you can go back and find out past modules that we used before. So in December, we've used how to hire you know, a virtual assistant. So we did some of that. And in November, we started also that series too. So you can actually go back, click on any of these, and pull up those awesome PDFs that I developed for you. I really like the PDFs. I like the way they're styled. And I also like that they're really interactive. So, you know, you're going to have fun each week when you're doing one of these. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, those papers that were right behind my head, Reimagine Your Business, is actually right here. I think we talked about it before, but just in case, we're just going to go over it one more time as they load up. This is really the best in clarifying exactly what you want to do. So here you can actually answer questions and really attach the feelings around that desire. And you can actually just go through, I believe it's 3 pages long. Your own time. I suggest quiet space completing those. So that's one thing that you can do just to get started. Okay, so now it's clicking by. Okay, so here's the resource library, and that's going to store the previous calls. We're going to have some of the 2014 videos also in here, so you can actually check those out. Guided meditations, these are awesome. If you really feel like you want that abundant sort of rhythm happening with you and getting in tune with that sort of vibe, you can click any of these, and these will help you break through those particular blocks that you're facing. They're really cool, helpful, and they're also great to just listen to when you have really like an anxiety-filled day. Like, just come right over here and start listening to them. Okay, let's see if we get the bonus content up. That's nice. The bonus content is one of the yummy spots for me, and I'm really excited to bring you this infographic ebook. This has all of the information that you're going to need on how to create infographics. So you can use something like this in your marketing strategy. You can use some of that with social media. It's a really great way to give a visual, quick brand awareness to your company. So this is exactly how to do that. We're actually going to be updating it soon, thanks to Dean Denise, who has given me a really cool new infographic series, and I can't think of the name right now. What is it called? Hold on one sec. Let me just check to see, because it's really been exciting for me to, oh, it's canva.com. So we're going to actually show a tutorial on how to use it. You don't really need one, but I'm just going to show you how I use it for my business. Community, that's going to pop you right onto Facebook. And one of the cool things about Facebook is that you can really share a lot of your accomplishments you have for the group. The more you share, the more you're going to get out of it when you do something like that. So right now, the funny thing is I got a lot of introvert memberships website, but that's okay. If you feel free that you want to actually contact me and talk to, this is just a place for you. You can do what you like with it if you want to participate. I really think that in terms of community, I've always found really good support when I share on Facebook. So there's login, and the support, it's if I press it, nothing's going to happen here. You can't really see it. But what happens is late mail, to our team if you have any questions for us, okay? This section here, the AMP Backstage Pass, that is going to direct tunes and show you all of my latest podcasts. Our next one is coming up soon. I think it's on the 20th. We're going to have our first 2015 podcast. The live group AMP sessions, just like this one, this should be updated. I actually assigned a new virtual assistant to help me update all of this stuff. So I think this is not as timely as I'd like it to be, but it will be soon. So here you can also look at it. We also are communicating all of our live events and our events through MailChimp newsletter. So you will always, as long as you're a member, we will always keep you in mind or keep you informed, of upcoming events with us for sure. One-on-one session. This is cool. So if you ever want to just book a one-on-one session, I donate a lot of time for AMP. So there are, how do I say this? When I'm available, I load it up. So I put time and dates on when you can actually connect with me. If you're a longtime AMP member, I would encourage you to do this at least once a month. Take advantage. The Q&A And it might be that I'm losing connection. It's not yet, so sorry about that, guys. Okay, so here we go, week 1. This is the intention of delegation. And let's go ahead and see if we can, oh, great, good, it's loading up. Blue needle to the right, here we go. All right, so this is the Find, Train, and Grow Your Virtual Team series. We are on Grow, which is awesome. This is like one of the last segments that we're going into on that. We have 2 more weeks. So the first 3 weeks of January, we're going to be finishing up this process. There is a meditation on, goodness. We all know it's meditation. Sorry, guys, there's a typo in this. But it is a meditation there. I'm not giving any medication out. Sorry about that. So ideally what this does is it gives you an idea of what the expansion of your business is going to be like, or putting feelings and surrounding it, what your business is going to look like. So this is perfect for this time of year. We're all rethinking of how that's going to look. So this is the time to imagine how that is going to be. When you are using that intention, you can actually now really easily delegate what you want for that particular assistant, how you're going to carve out your particular lifestyle, or your goals, what you're going to produce this year, what kind of clients you're going to bring in. Whatever it is that you do, it starts with the intention. So we actually go into a couple of questions here for you. We have a little questionnaire. So now we start talking about the delegation. All right, so this is interesting. So discipline and opportunities. What happens when you get a virtual assistant and they fall short of what the expectations are? So this is something that does reoccur a lot with, different virtual assistants. What I do is actually take time to screenshot or to make a screen movie in regards to talking and communicating with people that are on my team. So I talk to them about what the expectations are. If they fall short and non-communicating, what are those implications can be. So sometimes this leads to letting go of an assistant, or sometimes this is about going back to the drawing board and retraining somebody all over again to let them, just to give them that understanding of this is what the expectation level is. I love doing this or handing that delegation out with another peer or another virtual assistant. So for instance, your lead or your first hire virtual assistant can be doing this for you on your behalf. So you always look like the good guy. and the other lead virtual assistant will be retraining and handing down work based on their performance. And that usually can position you in a really good way. And also too, the more appreciation that you share or show with a virtual assistant when they are failing with that expectation, the more appreciation you're going to yield, more more appreciation right back, and they're going to step up. So it does take a little time. Well, as I said here in the document, and it feels a little condescending and unnecessary. But if you do it the right way in correcting a virtual assistant, it's going to be a better outcome. Okay, the daily operations task list. It's a big deal for me in the beginning because I didn't really do this. I got a virtual assistant and I just had them load up my Hootsuite. Like, that was all I did. And then I started realizing, well, the more I put on their tasks that they can do for me, the freer I become. And I know that sounds crazy, but if I have more hours and I can be a bit more with my time, I can create new products. I can create more time with new clients. So it's all about if I'm busy doing things like loading up my WordPress and doing stuff that are in my daily operation, I can't really reach my full doing all of the busy things. So if you can train somebody or like this, like the WordPress thing that I was just mentioning, if you can delegate that, you're going to free up more of your time. So here I invite you to just you think you can delegate to a. I give you a second page too, and that concludes the. And let's jump on the second week. True management and growing your team. Oh, sorry guys, it's slow. It's just the blue needle is just slowly coming across. Goodness. Okay, it's speeding up now. There you go. Okay, cool. All right, so here is the creative walk. Okay, really cool. You can click on this and it gives you a you know, like high tempo music, and it also gives you affirmations along the way. Really like, I'm in a really awful. It's really nice to do this. I live in the city now, so to have this instead of hearing city noise, putting this on and just, you know, going out for my walk is when I usually do it. It's great. So definitely something that I would encourage you guys to check out. Okay, so what's assistant to a team leader? Give that person a sense of ownership and gratitude. You may want to not necessarily have a congratulate them on their promotion. Okay, seriously, that is like one of the awesome things because you can see that virtual assistant light up and create that person really recommends Skyping. The more empower, appreciate your VA, the more they will your cause. Only do this if you have the time. They connect in a genuine way. Absolutely, because if they see what I call the customer service Disney way with the fake smile, they'll call you. Well, they'll catch you on it, and it's going to be like a creepy Skype call instead of one of a celebratory call that, you know, what it should be. So here behind the scenes, I have a 2-part video on how you can use Asana as a place where I do base camp or touch base with the virtual assistant team. It's really cool. I do this every single time I feel like I have a specification that I need to get across or communicate with. And the cool thing is my project manager, my lead VA, Rochelle, what she'll do is she'll cut and paste those videos on a document where it's shared. So Google Documents or Google Drive, she actually uploads all of that information in a privately shared document. So if we have a teachable module for them, they can actually go back and refer to it. Even if they've been with the company for a while and for some reason they forgot how to do it, they can prompt themselves to go ahead and check out that document, go back, look at it, and learn from it. If there's a new one, another virtual assistant can teach a new virtual assistant how that process is done. It's pretty cool. So there I give 2 examples that you can click on anytime to watch. Suggested virtual team growth timeline. Ideally, you should train your first VA anywhere from 3 to 6 months. For me, it took a while because I was a bit of a control freak. And unfortunately, unfortunately, it took a long time for me to get real on what exactly that list was, because I was clinging onto it. I wanted to keep it and do stuff my way, and I didn't want a virtual assistant to do it, which was really bad. So it took me a longer time to do it. Now, if you release the control and you start training them, just like I talked about and just how I showed you guys how to do it in the previous modules, uploading all of that information on Google Drive, it's going to be a pretty clean sweep. You want them to get your systems and company culture before they start training others. This is absolutely true. This is why it's important to start with that one virtual assistant. In 3 months, they can do this. In 6 months, they will get your idiosyncratisms. That's true, I got lots of those. The more they know you and your company, the more successful the workflow will be, absolutely. So here's the idea timeline that I suggest. You can read in a little bit more into that. I have it, and all of this is exactly what I went through. So it does take time. It's just no quick fix here. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to invest in time just once. Once you do that, they can actually help train each other, and the workflow is going to be that much quicker. But there's no quick, easy way out of this. Of course, unless you have somebody doing project management for you. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Here are some samples of the systems that I put into place. So here is one that we did for a client, and we were doing a blog release. She had a product. It was a skincare product, and we showed exactly from 1 to 10 how to load up that article and that we went through each week. So that's kind of an idea of how we did it. So step by step, that's exactly what we did. Here's another one, system for a new blog and social media post. And this is also for a client, so you can kind of just get an idea. And this is exactly how I show my virtual assistant what to tweet or what to post. And I actually gave really specific specifications on how to do it. And I even separate the US market and the EU market in Europe, and give examples on how to post. And here are some points that you may want to go over on how to train that assistant. It only takes one time, so if you're committed to really doing this and doing it extremely well enough for another virtual assistant can train a number of other virtual assistants, because you will start to understand that virtual assistants are awesome and maybe you just need one more. This will help you get through it. So just you're going to get so much. Okay, so next week is our and that session for sure. So that we set up together. Okay, so business books and podcast when I'm working, because I need to have some sort of chaos in the background. Is these different office having quiet and stillness sometimes knocks me off my game. So I usually use audio background. I'll say the same thing for some, keeps resonating from all these different authors and different podcasts. They say the same thing. It's like, don't give up if you're an entrepreneur. Keep doing it. Be conscious that you're doing things repetitively. And dream big, don't dream small. If you're not comfortable, it's not worth doing. It's kind of like that hell yes thing. If you're thinking about a project and you go, yeah, hell yes, I want to do it, versus, yeah, I know if I do that accounting series, that would really make money for me, especially this time of year. But if you feel flat about it, don't do it. But if you feel really high energy about it, then that's something you should do. If you feel like you can't do it, but you're still feeling excited about it, and there's really high anxiety about getting it done, and you're not sure, but you feel good about it, that's a yes. So being consistent, taking those very first steps on how to create something like that is all you need. You will have things revealed to you along the way. I'm telling you, especially this month for me, it's always a real magical month because I reimagine everything on how I want the year to look like, or how am I changing? I mean, I'm in a different country, which is crazy. It's so awesome. So how do I want to be impactful in this community is something that I keep on resonating with. Like, how do I want to leave the really good impression that is very helpful for local entrepreneurs, and how can I show PR techniques to those local businesses and make a difference? That's just the start of what I'm thinking and what I'm meditating on at the moment. And where that brings me, because I'm definitely going to share it with you. Also, too, speaking about sharing, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more personal stuff on my podcast, how I got here as an entrepreneur, and which is a pretty nitty-gritty story. So it's I'm probably turning a little red because I'm not going to polish it up. I'm the accidental entrepreneur. However, there was a lot of chaos happening in my life at that just before I turned over to what my company is now. So I'll be sharing more of that. So definitely love for you guys to check out all the beauty. iTunes, Francesca Alexander. You'll find me. You'll definitely see me. So thank you so much for checking out this particular Google Hangout. And for those of you that were not on it, you will be seeing this shortly, usually a day after we broadcast, and you're not able to make the next one. That's totally okay. We're going to go ahead and record it and then send it to you in a newsletter. So thank you so much, and bye for now.